Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
There we go. That is, with the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. We openly bear witness to the oneness of Almighty God. We openly bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah of over 1452 years ago is the last prophet to all of humanity. We thank Almighty God. It says Muslims, Allah, using that name Allah, that has been around for thousands of years, and we never tire of saying that there are those who are anthropologists who have done their diggings in different parts of the world, and when they find relics from abroad, known as the Middle East or various countries of African origin, we find that in the language known as the Semitic language, one of the Semitic languages, Arabic, that the name Allah has been utilized also by Christians. So this is no new name, and for those who are not familiar with various languages or phrases, the word Allah, it has been around for thousands of years. So this is no new name that has been invented by those who are who are practitioners of the religion El-Islam, and the term Muslim more so is used in its importance to identify those who identify and who are followers of Muhammad ibn Abdullah. That's one of the very important key components of this religion, those who are known as Muslims, the practitioners of the faith. And the term believer, the Muslim, it is very important when we speak of the guidelines as to those who profess to be part of the Abrahamic faith, Jews, Christians, and Muslims. And as the Quran teaches, as Allah has taught Muhammad 1400 years ago, it's taught him that closer to us are the people of the book. And that question was put to me last Friday after Jummah. Someone called and asked that question. What does that mean? Closer to us are the people of the book in terms of their studies, their community service, their community involvement. Closer to us are the people of the book. But in terms of referring to God as the one God, those of the Jewish faith, they are close to us because they accept, we say, why this oneness, not having any partners with God. And much of what has happened to religion in the minds of mankind, the minds of humanity, is that humanity has been given myths. And these myths have basically distorted the origin, the proper teachings of the religion that God wants his creature to have. And so because of that, we constantly see throughout time the history of man, the history of his soul, the study of the creation. We find that there are those who have held on and created myth after myth. And in saying this then we hear about the Trinitarian doctrine. Although Christians say, as they study, many will say there's only one God. But we find this few and far between. So in saying this message is never meant to be disrespectful to those of the Jewish faith, Christians or Muslims. But we have to address the subject matter that is holding humanity hostage, that is playing with the spirit and the minds of humanity. So we come to you today, thanking you for your ear, for your presence, and this message that we have. It is a message that has been utilized to free man, to free his conscience, to free his spirit, to open his mind up, to expand his mind. And we begin reading two ayats, verses from the Quran, from the Surah Abraham, as those of you who read the English, who study the Bible and other books, and you hear the word Abraham, and we say that this is our father Abraham. We follow the middle of Abraham, the way of Abraham, the path that he followed. And the biggest thing, one of the biggest things that we learn in studying the life of Ibrahim or Abraham is that he was a rational mind. He was a thinker. And he wasn't one just to assume something simply because his foreparents or his father or relatives or the hierarchy said this is the way that this should go. He was the one who thought on his own, just as you should think on your own, but have some type of logic, some type of mannerism about yourself, where you want to put all the cards on the table. Or in other words, you want to weigh what it is that you are taking to be as a fact. So you have, those of you who have your books, who have the Quran, you are to study these Qurans and you are to study on your own. But yet when we come into a setting such as we have now, when we have those who may be a bit more familiar with you in their studies, and they can give you some more insight or to assist you in re-adding, re-adding to what you already have. Read. So in the environment that Muhammad ibn Abdullah came up in, and when he was told to read, then the environment that he was in, he was already reading that environment, trying to get an understanding, but he was known in later years as being the Ummi prophet. The Ummi prophet. What is Ummi? Anybody know the definition of the word Ummi? Ummi? Mothers, you don't know that name? Mother. That's mother. And so, and also, you see the various Om means mother. It means mother. And it also, when you see the various adjectives to it, prefixes, suffixes, infixes, certain words you will see, or he was known as the Ummi prophet, and he represented those of the common people. He came from the common people. He didn't come from a priest class. He didn't come from an institution of higher learning. He was one, again, known as the Ummi prophet, one who represented, one who came from the masses. So this says something to us, that this language is to be a plain language, and it is a language to establish those who have been held back from reading, from education. And if you look at the environment in which he came up in, he came up among the Quraysh. He was a part of their tribe, but there were many tribes. You can look at these tribes, and many instances, if you're trying to classify or to understand that period of the mindset of these people during that time, you are looking at different gangs, like the Bloods, the Crips, and what have you. You know, earlier days they had the Vice Lords, many different gangs, motorcycle gangs, and these people were barbaric in many of their practices. It didn't mean that they didn't have any knowledge, but they were associating gods with the God. They had idol gods, many different images. And so Muhammad, when he came, he also was dealing with people who basically, again, were barbaric, who were ignorant in terms of scripture or with reference to scripture, scriptorial recitation, scriptorial writing, and insight. And he was also dealing with atheists. And during that particular time, before Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, there was the prophet Esau ibn Maryam. And we emphasize this in saying Esau ibn Maryam, Jesus the son of Mary, because we want you to understand the Islamic position with that Jesus was the son of Mary, not the son of God. And we are speaking and trying to get you familiar with Islamic terminology, with Islamic insight, and the teachings of the revelation of this book known as the Quran, the Holy Quran. And it is an eternal book. When we leave this earth, those of us that are here, those of you who are viewing this program, when you leave this earth, the Quran will still be relevant, just as it was relevant 1,400 years ago. And the insight that it gives us, the connectiveness that it gives us to scripture of the past, and the correction of lies that have been spread about prophets and about good, decent people. So Muslims are those who seek to perfect themselves. They are those who are sincere about their religion. And in saying that again and referring and going back to where it says, closer to you are the people of the book. And as you study further, and this is not a put down, but these are facts. So, but as you go on further, but many of them, they are non-believers. They are not sincere. They are hypocritical. They are liars. Now we can say that about the Jews also. And it might hurt some of you to hear it, but you can also say that about Muslims, some Muslims. They are not sincere. They are not upholding the principles of Islam. They are wagging, as some say in Christianity, which is a good teaching. Say you can't straddle the fence. You're either hot or you are cold. And certainly there are times in all of our lives where we had shortcomings. We may have some others. Still might have some shortcomings. But we seek to perfect ourselves. We seek to perfect this body that we have. Certainly the physical body. We try to exercise as much as we can accordingly to what we can handle. Some may do push-ups or various calisthenics or various forms of yoga or what have you. Something to get the physical body in shape. But there are various practices, that also help the spirit, to help the spirit of man. And isn't this what religion is about? It is about the spirit, but Islam comes to you and gives you that which will enhance your productivity. And we mentioned Friday in our Jummah prayer service, which some of you know, we teach in sequence, and we try to add on what we have said in previous weeks or previous talks or discussions or lectures or sermons. And we try to assist you in piecing together this puzzle of life. So let's read a few verses from Quran and hoping to set up what has happened to a people that have been stolen, that have been taken away from their their insight, their mind, their intellect, where their minds have been distorted. And I was in a restaurant a couple of weeks ago, and I heard these two guys that were working behind the counter, and they were discussing the mind and conscience, and they were talking about a new series. And this guy said, what they're doing, they are downloading human being consciousness. Downloading the consciousness. Let's just really something about it. Someone downloading your conscious. That's a powerful, deceptive manner, a deceptive way of controlling people. Now, if they have this in a series, in a television series, don't you know there are those who are experimenting with the minds of humanity? So in the coming of all of the prophets, and the finalization of all of the prophets, the finalization of the making of the man that God wanted, in Muhammad, we see and we understand that he encountered people as Jesus did when he encountered the atheists. And in the time of Jesus, if you study Bible, those who study Bible were Christians, and we are in hopes that this will help you be a better Christian. We're not trying to convert you, but if you see some worth in the teachings of Islam, then you are welcome. You are welcome. No compulsory in religion. No one will force you to become a Muslim. But during the time of Jesus, those who were known as atheists, they were known as Sadducees. And they speak in the Bible for the Pharisees and the Sadducees. But I'm not going to elaborate a lot on that, but I'm giving you keys as to what to look for. Who caused the prophet problem? And Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. He was tempted by his tribesmen because they saw that he was gaining ground. Those are the higher orders, supposedly the aristocrat. And they saw that what Muhammad was saying, the words that he was reciting, words that were placed on the walls of the Kaaba, because they were poets. They loved poetry. And in their love for poetry, they would often have contests. And we mentioned as to how a verse was placed on the wall in the Kaaba, and that verse won the contest. And they heard it was so profound to them, what they were hearing, the rhyme, the rhythm of the words in the recitation of the Quran. And so everything about the ayats from Quran, verses from Quran, if you are opening up, and if you are searching, if you are really looking, and you're trying to identify, you're trying to find our Lord, not the Lord Jesus, because we see in the teachings of Christianity, we see that he was known as Master. And we know that the word master, when you bring it to the English language and you understand it, it means teacher. It means teacher. And as it says so often, when you speak of a martial artist, those who have various degrees, they are known as masters, the teachers. So we use the word master with reference to Jesus. We are speaking from the standpoint of a teacher, of a master teacher, of a prophet, who made things clear during his time. And there were those who relied on him. There were those who had fabrications, who created myths about him. And so the same thing happened with Muhammad. The same thing happened with all of the prophets. And if you are sincere, if you are a believer, and so that's a very important word in our religion, in religion period. But the Quran often talks about the mu'min, often, continuously, more so than not, speaking of the believers. You don't have to answer that question if you are a believer. God knows. I can't say that you're not a believer. You can't say that I'm not a believer. But in our works, as we work together, we see indications, and as we come out, we see indications that this person is tuning themselves into the galaxy, to the minds, in terms of what the Quran is creating. And the Quran is introducing us back to ourselves. So there are those who have taken religion and they have tampered with religion to keep control of those who are known as the masses, the majority. But I say to you, I've mentioned and saying that there are Muslims that are pretentious, Christians and Jews that are pretentious, that are not fully embedded in their religion. They're tippy-tippy-toeing. Like you used to say about elephants, tippy-tippy-toes through the tubes. So we're saying to you, if you want the best in life, if you want to be productive in life, then accept these teachings of Quran, accept the teachings of Islam, and even in Christianity, much worth. Very good people in the various religions. But we are saying that this religion, the religion that God wants a man to have, religion has been misrepresented. That's why you see the chaos. Why is it? We often bring up the fact that those who were in this country, who were enslaved, doing indigenous slavery in America, why is it that the religion of Islam was kept away from a mass of people, a group of people? Why is it that these people were denied the opportunity to read and to write? Undoubtedly, there must be some power. There must be something, an enhancing force in this reading and being able to intellectualize the creation, to be able to sit down and have a discussion about your makeup, to have a discussion about the one who created your makeup. And so as we look into the elements, as we look at protons and neutrons, we know that protons and neutrons, they are utilized, they bind together to form what is known as matter. And I often mention matter, but now I'm mentioning protons and neutrons as they come together. And they formulate this matter that we are familiar with. And so in seeing this, here it is, God gives us that which will assist us in becoming excellent scientists. Excellent scientists. Scientists of the soul, scientists of the mind, scientists of the environment, being able to look beyond what you normally see. So the Quran does that. It helps you in whatever, as we mentioned last week, it helps you in whatever your profession may be, whatever your goals may be, and you are working towards those goals. So we say again, most of the words in the Quran, they are formulated from verbs. From verbs. Triliteral verbs, 3 letters. And in saying that, then these words they are built upon. Just as what you have in your mind, the knowledge that you already have, as you continue to study your trade or your field, then your mind is being enhanced. Things are being added on to what you already have. Now, Islam is about education. It is about education. It is about bringing out the best of what you have in you. And that's what we seek to do. So as a body, Look how important your body is, your body being in good shape. So let's read these verses in hopes of bringing more clarity to what has happened to African Americans in this country. And don't you know if you oppress a person, that you also an oppressor yourself? You are being oppressed. Because when you tell a lie, you're actually oppressing your soul. You're actually you're defaming your own soul. Because you know that you're lying. I'm speaking to those that are high up in the heavens that they have created. Oh, listen at that language. A heaven that they have created? You mean what God created? No. We know that Allah has created paradise and a heaven for the righteous, not for the unrighteous, not for those that are not doing good works. But do you know that the shaitan, that the devil, that the corrupt, that the evil one, that the Bayatin, the corrupt ones, the cheater, the crooked ones, the Bayatin, do you know that they have created an artificial heaven, an artificial mind, an artificial material substance, and you think that it's beneficial to you? As to how man is so, his mind is so warped, how they man go out and spend millions of dollars for an automobile. They have cars that cost millions of dollars, $1 million. And some of you, some of us, would never earn $1 million in your life. And it's been equated, and it says a husband and wife, and it's bad in the day's time. Let's say a husband and wife that earns $25,000 per year. That's $50,000 a year coming out of their household. That's their earning for the year, but it don't mean that they're bringing that much home. So it would take them 25 years to earn $1 million. Now picture someone buying an automobile for that. Well, they got the money, so they got the money, so the money can do what they want. But picture what you could do with $1 million in terms of helping your tribe or helping the community. A great wastage. So the corrupt in the society, those who want our minds to be mystified, they have caused the masses, those who were poor, who didn't have anything, to be so entwined with having the latest fashions, the latest cars, whatever it is, latest television sets, the latest gadget. Now they have telephones. Little telephones that we all have. Telephones that cost thousands. A telephone. What you gonna do with $1,000 telephone? And basically, you know the uses is just for you to communicate. And certainly there's much information that can be gained on these systems. But there are those who are creating things in the society to control your mind, to pull you away from that which will enhance you. So they don't want the religion to be taught in its proper content and to have you laughing at religion. Even in Russia, you speak of socialism. Socialism and capitalism can be put in the same bag. That was socialism, a form of socialism and capitalism during the time of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Probably wouldn't call it that, but in terms of the essence of what was same thing in Jesus' time. And so it's a trick. Many people run to Russia. They're tired of this capitalistic approach to life. But capitalism and socialism, they all have their little trick in controlling the masses. Some say that with the socialists, with the communists, they say that work is God. The work is God. The people in their work, that work that they produce, that's God. The productivity, the materialism that they have is for all of the people. But we know that there are those who are demagogic. There are those who seek to control, dictators. And it's all a scheme of the masses, of the corrupt ones. You will be outnumbered on many, many, many occasions by being a believer, being a good Christian, a good Jew, and a good Muslim. But there is hope. There is hope in the world because you have movements going on, interfaith movements going on among righteous people of different religious backgrounds who are trying to do something to reestablish this order in the correct words of God, showing man the best of what the society, what the world, what Scripture has to offer. But there are those just the opposite. They will seek to tear down everything that you are doing and the works of the righteous, the work of the sincere, men and women. So don't think that you're going to be let alone simply because you want to live a good life. No. You are going to catch more hell than others. You just have the information, the knowledge, and the wisdom as to how to let that water roll off your back. You have the capacity, the ability, as they do, but they've been listening to so many things that's been so embedded with corruption and darkness that they can't see themselves out of it. So much false pride, and not just African Americans, but many people. Here's this verse, or these two verses for right now. We sent Moses with our signs and the command, bring out the people from the depths of darkness. Bring out the people from the depths of darkness into light, and teach them to remember the days of Allah. Verily in this there are signs for such as are firmly patient and constant, grateful and appreciative. This is from Surah 14 to Surah Ibrahim, Ayah 5. Did you hear that? So Allah is letting Moses know, just as he let others in their time, prophets of their time, just as we're to let our families know that we're to speak in our families and we're to speak the truth. We're to teach them to address and to see and to accept the haqq, the sure reality. This is how it goes, son. This is how it goes, daughter. This is how it goes, husband, wife. You think the husband and wife can't be taught? I can't teach the husband? No. There are many scholarly women among us in the various religions. But when you have Quran, there are couples, there are families, maybe the husband doesn't have time to do a lot of stuff. And here's the wife. But if you are relating, there's no pride. I don't want this woman telling me anything. Some have hang-ups. They don't think that a woman, that a sister, can tell them anything. Certainly you as the head supposed to be the head of your household, but don't neglect this structure. You are no longer one. You are two. You are one unit. You are one unit. Adam, he called them Adam. You have to be able to put these teachings together and see what has happened. So the depths of darkness. What does this darkness take place? You're looking at, just look at the physical earth. When the sun goes down, the darkness comes, the lights are out. But look at these wonderful examples in terms of what Prophet Muhammad taught, peace and blessings be upon him. When there were those who were trying to pull him in and offering him all of the material good, the material wealth. What is it that you want, Muhammad? We'll give you whatever you want. And you mentioned that if the sun was in one hand and the moon was in another, he would not stop teaching. He would not denounce what Almighty God had given him. But let's take this higher. And looking at the sun and the moon. Why do you think Allah mentions the sun and the moon and the stars in this book? A chapter about the stars? What's so significant about stars? What's so significant about the Zumma? The Sham is the sun, Zumma, the moon. Those are the stars. And it tells us to look up into the heavens. And when the night comes, when you look up into the sky, you will get a sense of how big the universe is. And then the earth seems small. But in the daytime, you don't see the vastness of what's out there. But at night, you see the twinkling of the stars. And then there has been reference made to the prophets in terms of what the prophets do. These men that have insight, foresight, and they can tell you what's going to transpire. They are super warners. Super warners. It's weird to be because we follow in their footsteps. So here's the prophets. Here's the ones that have been classed like the moon. Those who reflect. Those who teach. And when it appears to be darkness in the land, and it's a clear sky, there's the moon. This big, beautiful moon. And sometimes the moon appears to be larger than the sun. The moon refers, again, to reflection. Our reflection, after the sun shines, or the reflection that is to come, the thinking that is to take place, our reflecting is to reflect on the light of the sun, the light of mind, the light that comes to the mind, the light that comes to the intelligence, the light that comes to the brain. So God has given us the light, but now here's the moon. He said reflect on it. Sometimes the moon seems small. Sometimes we see the moon like you get a big cookie and somebody just bit out of it. You see the various quarters, the various periods of time. And we know that the moon is also used as a measuring device. What time of the month it is. a measuring device. Farmers can look at the moon also and tell when it's time to plant. Now, we're reflecting with the moon people. Then you have the stars at night. And when you look out, the stars at night, when you look out into the darkness, there's an Arab proverb. It mentions how there are thousands of eyes at night. And one eye, one light in the day. Now for the thinker, they recognize this. One light in the day, 1,000 at night. We are like stars. Many terms have been used to describe the believers, the workers. Here are these stars. What do the stars appear to be doing? They are piercing out in the darkness. In a dark world, in a dark environment, in a dark neighborhood, you are a piercing star because you have this light. And though it may not be a lot of the believers from whatever religion, but we are focusing on Islam because we want to understand our perception, how we perceive things. But we know there are many good-minded, intelligent people from other religions, but we want you to see the wholeness that in Islam deals with, again, the strict reality. No beating around the bush, no Santa Claus, but giving you that which will assist you in seeing the sure reality and giving God the credit that he is due. But he's going to get his credit because his will be done. So this piercing in the darkness, this understanding, this truth that you have out there, this understanding that you have, that we have, it is a piercing star in darkness. They say, they're seeing all this darkness, all this ignorance in the society, and here comes one that has some insight. It just begin to talk to you. Yeah, man, that's heavy. That's fire. You know, the youngsters have so many little terms, and some of them, it's really nice. You get them, that's fire, that's dope. You know, and then you go back to an older society, it's dope. They take it dope. But no, that's their expression. They said we had ours, those of us who were a little older than 50 and 60 and whatever. You know, we had our language when we came up. We had our slangs. You know, you go way back to our parents' days. You know, when they began to say things simply, that's cool. You know, I mean, so when Caucasians and Europeans heard this, cool, it's not cool. Didn't understand their language. So the Quran gives us a language, but this is a language for all times. It is clarity for the masses at all times, but it is also a super warning for the corrupt, giving them an opportunity to clean their slate. Let's read the next verse. Remember, Moses said to his people, call to mind the favor, the Yama, it means favor. One of them means favor. Moses said to his people, call to mind the favor of God to you. When he delivered you from the people of Pharaoh, they set you hard task and punishment, slaughtered your sons, and let your women folk live. Therein was a tremendous trial from your Lord. A tremendous trial from your Lord. Min rabbikum azim. A tremendous trial from your Lord. We may not understand everything that has transpired in our history, but I mentioned to you last week. Remember, I said we were making connections. We don't understand everything that God does. Very little, other than what he allows us to understand. But the trials, if you know what it's like to lose a grandparent, a grandmother, a father, a mother, a child, that's a tremendous thing. Can you imagine right now, relatives that you have, people that you love, can you imagine being lined up and someone taking your loved one, not just shooting them down, but maybe cutting them up, stabbing them, mutilating them, burning them, having a gigantic party, hundreds of people, thousands of people coming to see the lynching and the murder of one person because he's black, because he's a Negro, because he's a Negro. Excuse the language that offends anyone. You're speaking reality, the true reality. Not saying this then to create animosity and hate. No. We want you to understand what has happened to a people's mind and those oppressors. Don't you know that many of them that lynched our people, they had to be drunk, intoxicated? They can even do it sober-minded. Here's the Quran talking about this 1,400 years ago, telling you that there would be those who would destroy the manhood, would destroy the leaders from among your tribe, from among your people, from among your family. Can you imagine someone coming into your house, sitting your husband outside, while they go in and they rape your wife or sleep with your wife? Go back in there, boy. I'm through with her. What do you think that does to the mind? So what makes you think it wouldn't be a Nat Turner or Harriet Tubman and others? What makes you think that everybody would just sit down and just scratch their head and say, well, that's just the way it is. We're just waiting on the Lord. No. Our Lord prepares all humanity to stand up. To stand up. To struggle. To struggle to work. Maintain your duty and your dignity as a servant of God. Don't be afraid. Fear only God. So I'm saying all that I'm saying for you to reflect on what you have, the goodness of what you have. This society, this world will not change until you bring about a change in your life. So you stars, I'm talking about dancing with the stars, they be giving you little indications, much bigger than what many people perceive. The language that is out there, you have those that are toying with the language, playing with the language, playing with the minds of the masses, because the masses have not been informed. Whether it's Africa, whether it's America, whether it's different countries in Europe, the masses have not been informed. Why is it then that they won't teach this, if this is so good? Because it would destroy the kingdom that they have established for themselves. They don't want everybody to have a piece of this. Talk about a piece of the rock. They don't want everyone to have this. It will make you really not just equal in terms of having material wealth, but in terms of being a thinker, being productive, being one to establish. That's what the believer does. The believer establishes himself and his family, his body. So this body we have, it's a magnificent body of the believer. It's a magnificent, a strong body. The believers are strong and are firm against darkness in the deep. Tired of waiting. Let me do something. Let me bring about a change in my life. So don't think that we are beyond being approached, that they're going to just give up on you simply because you say, I believe, I believe. You're going to constantly be tested. Let's read a few more verses here and bring this to a close. Let me go to my notes. I gotta save us a little time. In the Quranic Arabic, there's a horrible fa. And in the English equivalent, it is like an F. It's an F. That's somewhat of the equivalent. And this fa alone, it is a conjunction. And a conjunction is that which connects. It brings something together. It brings something together. But far also means an abundance of something. An abundance. It also means by. It means in consequence of, in fear of. It's a prefix conjunction. Now why am I saying all this? This is not an Arabic class, but I'm giving you keys to show you how important this word is, this letter is. It connects, when you see it in a sentence, it connects the sentence prior to the sentence that's to come afterwards. The sentence that it might be in, let's say we are speaking, which we're going to read. We are speaking, more so we're putting the attention on ayat 6. But we're going to read ayat 4, 5, and 6, and also 7. Here is this word, the sentence that I'm putting emphasis on. فَكَانَ هَبَاءً مُنْبَاثًا, becoming dust scattered abroad. But the first letter, which is a prefix, the word is skanna. But with far placed before it, it is fakanna. Now it says becoming dust scattered abroad. Now let's read the ayat before that. And the mountains shall be crumbled to atoms, and the mountains are broken down, crumbling. These are two different interpretations of the same ayat. That's ayat 5. Let's read ayat 4. When the earth is shaken to its depth, when the earth is shaken with convulsion. Now, connecting all this together, this letter far, and bringing them together, showing the importance. It is talking about the crumbling of mountains. It is talking about the destruction of mountains. But does the Quran and the commentaries talk to us about mountains? Are we just awaiting, we're looking to see a mountain just crumble? No, it is speaking to those according to what your level of understanding is, your conscious level, your work, because the Quran says what? Man can have nothing but what you strive for. You may read the Quran and you can accept it on the level, on its basics, in terms of what you read, and go, have tremendous accomplishments. But the more that you study and you look into it for insight, it will take you higher in understanding what has happened to the world and what has happened to various countries. Corrupt leaders in America, in Europe, France, Germany, Africa, Russia, all over, China, all over. What has happened? These mountains. And now we are seeing the mountains crumble. Mountains, leadership. And I've been to the mountaintop, is what we often say. What Dr. King said, he's been to the mountaintop. He could see what had happened. He was seeing government and its worst form of corruption. So these mountains are referencing an established order, a corrupt order. And so God speaks of these mountains being seen in their convulsion. And look what happens when we take in too much of the wrong stuff. We convulse, we throw up, we regurgitate. I'm not here to throw up. We regurgitate, we throw up, we vomit. Because we put something into the body that the body will not accept. So it is to be the same thing in your churches, in your synagogues, and in the masjids. When something comes in there that causes a corruption in the body, you're to throw it up, you're to get rid of it, because you want the house clean. You want your form looking good. So this corruption, this shaking, well, a shake-up, there's a big shake-up, it's somebody in the neighborhood, it was going to be a bustle, it was a big shake-up, shaking up the corruption, so they say. Because we know even within the systems, and we know that it's a wonderful thing to have a criminal element to fight crime. But we know, let's not be naive, we know there's corruption among the police department and law enforcement. But you also know that there are those within these departments that are doing wonderful works. But be mindful, don't be fooled, don't be so naive to think everything, as you would say some, wine and roses, so we don't indulge in any intoxicants, anything to pull us away from the reality of ourselves and how God wants us to be. But be mindful in the society, in the world. These mountains are now crumbling because the masses are tired. The masses are tired. But when you get tired, and you know that your way hadn't worked, and you're to find a way, you're to continue to seek. And some say, seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall open. Now this is language. I'm combining different languages and different scriptures. But the Quran comes to make it crystal clear that you can achieve whatever it is that you work for, whatever it is that you want, within the reason in terms of how God wants you to have it. You have to strive. What do you want? You have to answer that question for yourself. What do you really want? Sometimes I've seen people, I've done it. You might work real hard for maybe a new suit. Some say, give me some new vines, some new clothes, some new threads. Oh, might have been a car, might have been a house, whatever it is. And once you work and get it, it's insignificant. It doesn't mean the same thing. I have the same meaning. They go out and pay $500 maybe for a shirt. $700, $800 for a shirt. One little shirt. And what's the difference? I mean, in the discussion, people are like, well, who knows you have a $700 shirt? A $400 shirt. Yes, they do have $400, $500, $600, $700 shirt. I've been given church like that. Church went by. But again,